Prime Video currently has some amazing sci-fi flicks, but let's be real folks, they also have a ton of terrible looking ones that are in fact pretty terrible. Some are not though, some are actually pretty great hidden gems. In this video, I'm going to quickly count down 10 of the hottest sci-fi flicks you can watch on Prime Video right now. Kicking off the list at number 10, we've got Breach. This follows a stowaway mechanic on this massive interstellar arc who ends up battling this parasitic cosmic threat that's trying to take over the ship. Now, this is an absolute killer of a banger if you just want dumb fun. You've got Bruce Willis and Thomas Jane shooting space zombies. It's kind of like Alien crossed with The Thing, but I gotta warn y'all, it definitely has some generic dialogue and some cheap-looking sets. It's a lower budget flick, so it's not for everyone. But if you just want a wild ride with some goofy action, it's a total blast. Next up at number 9 is Skylines. This follows Captain Rose Corley leading a mission to an alien world to stop a virus that's turning alien hybrids against humanity. Now, this is actually the third movie in the Skyline franchise, and it punches way above its weight when it comes to the action. It's essentially a martial arts sci-fi flick. I mean, they got Yaya and Ruhian in this kickin' alien butt. The critique here is it definitely has some predictable elements and some unfinished notes if you haven't seen the first two movies. But for folks who love dark, action-packed adventures, it's crazy fun. Now at number 8, we're throwing it back to the year 2000 with Supernova. This is a sci-fi horror flick where a deep space medical rescue ship responds to a distress call, only to uncover this dangerous alien artifact that mutates a survivor. The movie stars James Spader and Angela Bassett, and it's got this super weird, horny 2000s energy to it. It's kinda like Event Horizon, but a bit more dopey. The movie is notoriously a mess behind the scenes, so there are some serious pacing issues and inconsistent suspense. But if you're into bizarre, messy studio sci-fi flicks with a crazy cast, you gotta check this out. Coming in at number 7, we've got a total gem from 2021 titled The Colony. The setup here is a lone astronaut crashes back down on a completely flooded, ruined Earth and has to survive violent scavengers and an even deadlier hidden threat. Honestly, the beautiful cinematography is the main reason to watch this. It looks incredible, just very atmospheric. It's basically Waterworld crossed with The Road. Now, I will say this is a real slow burn. It takes its time, and it suffers from some underdeveloped characters. But for fans of visually stunning, post-apocalyptic, dystopian stories, this is a cool little indie flick to get lost in. Next up at number 6, I've got a bizarre one. The Signal from 2014. 3 college friends are tracking a hacker across the Southwest when they get abducted by this mysterious signal and wake up trapped in this surreal, high-tech facility. This one is an absolute mind-bender. The plot is just a wild ride full of crazy reveals and some really innovative concepts for the budget. It's got vibes of like The Matrix crossed with Chronicle. The drawback is it does get bogged down with some overpowering details, so it can feel a little confusing. But if you love heady, twisted sci-fi that makes you think, it's an awesome flick. Alright, moving to number 5 is Synchronic. You got Anthony Mackie and Jamie Dornan playing 2 New Orleans paramedics, investigating these bizarre, gruesome deaths that are all linked to this weird designer drug that actually enables time travel. The time travel mechanics in this are totally unique, and it tackles some really significant underlying themes about grief and the past. It is kind of like Limitless mixed with Primer, but it doesn't pull its punches. It is super dark, and definitely has some pacing issues early on. But folks who love gritty, grounded sci-fi thrillers are gonna really dig this one. At number 4 is a hidden gem titled Black Box. This follows Nolan, an amnesiac father who survives a car crash and undergoes this highly experimental black box treatment to get his memories back, only to uncover a genuinely horrifying truth. The emotional depth and the strong performance from Mahmoud Eti here are what make this a banger. It really feels like an extended, super twisted Black Mirror episode mixed with vibes from Get Out. Now, it does suffer from a bit of a lack of originality, since it revisits some well-known themes, and it occasionally feels like a TV movie. But guys, the mystery here is a wild ride. My number 3 pick is Archive. This takes place in 2038, where a scientist is developing these advanced AI prototypes in this remote facility, trying to resurrect his dead wife. But he ends up facing actual jealousy from one of his earlier robot creations. The production design on the robots is gorgeous, like top-notch practical and digital effects. It's got a very Ex Machina flavor to it, very quiet and moody. It's definitely a slow burn though, and some of the plot beats are fairly predictable if you watch a lot of sci-fi. But for fans of moody, atmospheric robot flicks, this is a beautifully tragic sci-fi flick. Now my number 2 pick is an absolute cult classic, Pandorum. 2 astronauts wake up from hypersleep on this massive colony ship with total amnesia, only to realize the ship is crawling with these terrifying, violent mutants. This is basically Alien crossed with The Descent, and it is a total gem of a sci-fi horror flick. The suspense and the action are incredibly intense. It does have some drawbacks though. The editing is super frantic, and the lighting is so dark it can be hard to see the action sometimes. But y'all, if you love terrifying, claustrophobic space horror that just goes totally off the rails, you need to watch this. And finally, my number 1 pick is The Vast of Night. Set in 1950s New Mexico, a switchboard operator and a radio DJ discover this weird, mysterious audio frequency that suggests alien ships are hovering over their tiny town. Everything about this movie is brilliant. The cinematography is nuts. They do these massive, unbroken tracking shots across the whole town. It's got a pure, old-school Twilight Zone vibe. Now manage your expectations. This is basically just people talking into microphones. There's zero action, and it might feel like a slow burn, but if you appreciate masterful, suspenseful storytelling and retro sci-fi vibes, this is an absolute masterpiece.